The reason why I put the thumbs down in the thumbnail is because of the staring. It's in reference to the staring. Something that you don't have to do, man. I'm speaking to myself more than anything, not to other people out there. This video is for me. This is a sequel to the video that I made yesterday that was talking about having creating another healthier boundary with my socializing. This is a sequel to that video because it's one of the major thoughts that I had after creating that video that I haven't let go of, and that I don't want to let go of. This is because I don't want to let go of it because it seems that with this way of thinking, it seems as if I'm already further improving my mental health with it. And I think, if anything, the reason why that may be the case is because me thinking this way is now meaning that I'm more sure of myself. And I've also noticed while making these videos is that when I'm making my thumbnails, like the building muscle thumbnail and this one, the thumbnail for this video, there are so many cars around, so many people around, even one person in particular playing their music right now, right behind me. I am not bothered. I'm not bothered. I'm just doing me, and I'm not putting in thoughts about what other people may think or if other people are looking. There's someone far away, maybe about 30 meters away, slightly to my left, around about 9 o'clock, and I could be thinking, well, what if this person is looking at me? But I'm not, and I'm not even thinking, what if the people in the cars are looking at me, or what if they're hearing me? Because I'm strictly focusing on these videos. This is what I want to do, and I'm more sure of myself than ever. And also because I'm more sure of myself than ever, I know what I want to do, and I know that these people aren't involved with what I want to do, so I'm not going to pay attention to them. I'm paying attention to what I want to pay attention to, which is making this video right now. I probably would be looking around at cars out of insecurity in terms of what they may be thinking, and worrying about it and judging myself based off what people could say, and the fact that people could destructively criticize the fact that I'm making videos and talking to a phone which they may not see. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not bothered because of this way of thinking that I now have. Okay, I've tied what I've just said back to this video, so let's carry on talking about it. I think this way of thinking that I'm now giving myself and have thought is very similar to that original video that I've now built another healthier boundary with my socializing, because I'm not telling myself I have to be on one end where I'm like staring at people and like holding an unnecessarily long gaze, but at that same time I don't have to not look at people. I'm basically giving myself more freedom. The freedom that I already had but took away from myself without even realizing it. And I can certainly understand where that came from. I'm referring specifically to all of the stories that I made based on me and people at the skate park, because my family, certain family members and family friends had dreams of me in the words of one of my sisters, violently passing away. And I also had a dream that I almost got robbed twice. One time in a very specific location, which I still remember, even though I had that dream in June last year. And also in a chicken shop in the town I live in. And I remember that the police officer caught them on the street just before they were about to enter the shop. And then, even though these people didn't rob me, these young teenagers around maybe like 15 to 17, more so around 16, 17, even though they didn't rob me, I was walking on the street with my arms around two white females limping. I don't know why that was the case, but it is a dream. So I don't really need to go out of my way to excessively speculate on why that could have been the case. But after that wave, after all of those dreams, I avoided the skate park, and I really believe that after being unironically told by my mum in particular that if I don't follow the dreams I could die, with my lack of mental health skills and lack of mental health knowledge, I took that on board seriously. So on board to the fact that that way of thinking then became subconscious because of my actions and thinking those thoughts over and over and over again. And my mental health got so poor to a point where I genuinely could have been subconsciously thinking that if I see a group of teenagers, and if I'm even on the same side of the street as them, that I could die. Unironically thinking this subconsciously maybe. And I would only go to the gym and I would only go to the supermarket. My mental health got so poor to a point where sometimes, I remember one time in particular, that I was looking outside the window thinking if one person in particular could see me, Joseph I called him. I was looking out of the bedroom window thinking, what if he's seen me? What if they're around and like hearing skateboards because of those dreams and what I put myself through in terms of what I thought, like hearing skateboards was worthy of having a fear response due to all of the thoughts that I had. It got that deep. However, with all of those experiences, I've used those experiences and I've built myself up to a point where I've come out of it on the other side now. And if we're speaking metaphorically here, I don't think I'm doing a deep clean anymore. Like that Plank Day AAT, Plank Day 19, and all of the other videos around that time in which I was talking about it, that was the deep clean. But now, I think with this way of thinking, what I'm doing is more so a minor clean, like a micro clean, for example. If we're talking about cleaning a car, what I think I'm doing right now, metaphorically speaking, is just more so hoovering in between the seats, hoovering the dust and the dirt in between the seats. If there's any rubbish, any food, like chips, for example, McDonald's fries, I don't know why I think of them in particular because I'm not craving them. Just what I'm doing right now is just hoovering in between those seats and getting all of that rubbish out, all that junk, all that gunk out. That's what I'm doing right now. And I've now given myself that freedom which I always had, which is when you're on the street, you don't have to not look at people, you know. Just like how you don't have to excessively stare. It's not, you don't have to do that to yourself. And I know that in the past I would purposefully, like, I'd essentially force myself to not look at certain people. Teenagers in particular, male teenagers that look like they aren't in the most healthy frame of mind. Those sort of teenagers, stereotypically speaking, that would seem like they go bully people that are younger than them, or maybe even their age. Rough, scruffy teenagers. Rough, scruffy teenage boys. Because of everything that had happened, all those dreams and me avoiding the skate park for so long, I think that really seeped into my way of life outside of going to the skate park by forcing myself to not look at these people because of what they could do with it, and potentially because back then I had so much fear. I had so much fear, man. It was silly. It was silly. I know where it came from. It's justified. I understand where it came from, but it wasn't needed. I did not need to take my mental health to such a low state upon reflection. But that same thing has been the stimulus to me coming out of it on the other side and thinking, you know what, okay, if something like that were to happen again, I know exactly what the fuck to do. I'll never allow myself to go through that again. I know that my mental health knowledge has increased, probably because of those poor times, because of those rough times that I put myself through. I didn't have to live that way. I didn't have to let my mental health get to such a poor point where I'm in my bedroom staring outside the window thinking, has someone seen me? Come on, man. But me thinking this, you can look but you don't have to stare, mean that I'm giving myself a freedom that I didn't give myself in the past. I was being way too restrictive, and I noticed with the original video that I made yesterday in terms of now building another healthy socializing boundary, I'm not putting stress on myself to not look at people. That's stress inducing for me, and I now understand that. I learned that with that original video that I made yesterday when I was talking about creating the healthy boundaries. I understand that now. Thank goodness. And it's now meant that one thing's led on to another, and I've now thought this way and have recorded it into a video. Other people that are watching this, they may be able to get something out of it. I don't know, but I don't care. I'm not looking to be a mentor. I'm not looking to be a mentor. I'm not looking to help other people out. So if people don't think that this is useful to them and it doesn't apply to them, I don't care. It's not that what they're doing in their lives is not my life. If people think that there's a useful message in it, great, good for them. But if there isn't, there isn't. I can't control what they think. I can't control their opinions on things. But yeah, again, fuck. I'm feeling that sense of relief again. That sense of physical relief again and again, because of this way of thinking. And there's no way that I'd be able to feel this physical sense of relief if I wasn't if I didn't allow myself to be this sure of myself. I'm becoming more sure of myself every single day, and this is a part of it. Guiding myself, basically. Yeah. I'm not so indecisive, and it seems like being too restrictive is stress inducing as well. And me guiding myself in this path, I'm guiding myself and putting myself in a position where I'm going into a creation surplus, where I spend more time creating rather than consuming. My future's bright, man. So bright, I'm telling you. But I think I'll leave it at that for now, because I don't have much else to say on the matter that's relevant to the video, other than every day is the answer. If there's any advice I give to people who want to actually improve their mental health or anything in life, that'd be it. Every day is the answer. Have something to show for what you're doing publicly every day. I know from personal experience that's meant that I've got off my arse and have made the foundations to do what I need to do even further to live the life I truthfully want to live. That's it. I want to leave it at that for now. I'll see you lot in the next one. Peace.